Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. It has been a couple of days, um, and it's been a little bit sparse a little bit recently with making some videos. I hope that's going to kind of update and change. If anybody's been watching my channel for like the last year and a half, I was on kind of a route of doing almost daily videos, if not every other day. And a lot of times, and I've always had a lot of fun with it. Um, in the last month or two, maybe even a little bit longer, I've had a little bit of tougher time making those videos. Multiple reasons to start off with. Partly because we created our new corporation, and I was working with that, um, and so I was doing also side videos for the corp. And I only have a little bit of limited amount of time. Uh, Other reasons were just being busy in the real world. Lastly, health-wise, I have not been in the best of shape. Not horrible, not in pain or anything, but I've had some issues with exhaustion, and so I've been seeing the doctor a little bit, and I'm hoping. Just yesterday, they've put me on a new um, regimen, and not to go in deep on it, but I'm feeling a little bit better. I've also been toying with adjusting to having a corporation, but also being able to make videos, and having fun with it again. If you watched my long-term videos, I did a lot of scavenger stuff and just kind of daily videos as to what's going on. And I was trying to figure out a way because my current videos as being a corp leader, um, there isn't a whole lot for me to make videos about for that. I really enjoy it. I've been living out in Syndicate, messing around a little bit there with my character and getting things organized um, when I do have the energy. But it's tough to actually make. I don't want to just put videos out there to put videos out. You guys can watch me blow up things in asteroid belts for a little while. So I did kind of come across an idea, and I'm going to try this for a little while. I have just today made a new character. Now I've got my regular character, Clarence Pilgrim, the corp leader, and then my test character for the corporation. But I made a new character. You're going to like this. His name is Pill Grimm. Pill space Grimm. I'm going to keep him in an NPC corp. He is an Omega character because my account's Omega, but I'm not going to be skilling him. And one thing that I wanted to do with my corporation long term is find a place that we could really call home. We found a nice little spot in Losec, but I think long term, um, I'd love to have our spot in Losec, but also another spot in NPC Nullsec, or maybe another area in Losec that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, like Iridia or something like that. So I thought what I'd start doing is, since I have a limited amount of time, do half-hour long videos, or so many minutes long, of just daily progress with Pilgrim. And whenever I'm available to make those videos, I'll start posting them up. I'm gonna try this. I've tried different things in the past. Some of them worked out really well. Some of them haven't. But I really think this might be kind of fun because he's going to be basically just a exploration guy. And as I go through different areas doing exploration, um, I'm going to kind of take a look around and see what's in the areas. So completely off the cuff, kind of do a daily thing. I do want to thank a couple of the guys who've checked in on me to see how I was doing because some of you guys have noticed I haven't put up as many videos recently. Um, and I really appreciate you guys checking in. I also do want to start updating my path to going to eFanFest 20, and give some pinpoints out to that. I also got a request in Discord to actually do a video with someone else, so I might have something to do with that. But the biggest problem that I've had recently is just exhaustion. from real world, and just there was a physical issue for me that I was having to deal with. Hoping that's going to change. The irony was one of my fixes was to get away from coffee, and talked to my doctor today or yesterday, and they said, no, you should be fine to drink as much coffee as you want. I don't think they understand how much coffee I drink. So I think that's part of me not being as awake at night. So that said, I'm not going to do a whole lot with the video today. Um, just want to show you, give you some ideas as to what I'm going to do with this character. And some things that I found recently going through Dotland um, and creating my current character. So the first thing being, this is literally a character that I created this morning. I went a little bit different. I made him young looking because I'm old. So, and he looks nothing like I do, especially when I was younger. He's much better looking. But he does have a big scar on his head, so that's pretty cool. Come on, baby. There we go. Literally I think this is the first time. Oh no, I did boot up with him earlier today to take a picture of to do the title page. Things that I'm going to be focused on doing. I'm going to be doing a lot of exploration. Um, Now, how do I skill up? Because I want to keep my main character for my corporation still skilling, and I'm not going to be using the uh, multi skilling thing that you can do at least right now. So one thing I thought would be kind of fun is to do an exploration character, and you don't need nearly as much skill points for that. The second part I can do is do the daily skill points. I can also do the air career programs to get those up. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys with those videos. Well, I might do a little bit of that if it's interesting. But as I learn things along the way, well, no, it's just going to be a 30-minute, this is what I'm doing each day. So, and then I'll just jibber jabber while I'm doing it. If something else pops up that's interesting, whether it's a good deal through Eve, whether it's something going on with going to FanFest, if there's something else going on in the world of Eve, definitely this will give me like kind of a daily dose. If I don't have anything else to go with, I'll go ahead and do that. The other thing that I went with was, or that I can do, is do the million skill point bonus that you can get, and that should give me a good jump spot. So, but the first thing I need to do is go get my free ship, my free scouting ship. So I'm going to go ahead and go into agents and missions, and then career agents. We need to find out. There he is. So we're going to set that destination, and it's only 2 jumps away. So as I'm flying there, and really, what I'm really looking forward to is um, I'm looking for that final, not the final home, but that space where um, my corporation can kind of grow. And here's a tough part: is I don't, there's a part of me like there's alliances out there that you can join and get things. I want to keep us separate, unless the guys in the corp want to do something different. I like the idea of being separate, trying to live off the land, being a pilgrim, going to a new land without any resources, and just trying to live as well as you can. I got an itch on my foot. Sorry about that. So as this progresses, I don't know. Some little things that I've figured out over time are um, one thing that I was looking for is uh, an area that we can defend, that we can group up and try. Even if we were to be kicked out of an area, um, at least we tried, and we move on to a different area. Um, another thing that I was looking for was a little bit of planetary interaction, something that people get into. And then there's other things that we can look forward to. The planetary interaction part of it I was thinking about was the one thing that I've started researching. And there, I don't know, and maybe you guys might know of a way of doing this. I'm going to give you an example here. I've noticed out in Syndicate, I'm just going to keep flying here. Um, and this is kind of my jibber jabber that I'm probably going to be doing in a lot of these videos, just to start getting back into the groove of making either a daily or an every other day video. But I'm going to give you an example. Where is it here? There it is, Syndicate. So recently, I've been flying around all of this area and all the way down here. I checked every one of these systems here with my other character, and I'm going to be moving on to other spots in Syndicate, not with Grimm, but with Clarence Pilgrim. Um, and one thing that I noticed was I started doing just a little bit of planetary interaction, and I realized that all the customs offices were owned by one corporation in all of this area here and this area here. And I might do a video on that later on. But it's interesting for me to see the inner workings of things that are out there. You want to go to an area and see who lives there, who doesn't. One thing that I did the other day was I was in a system that I didn't see a whole lot of traffic through all the time. And just to test things, all of these customs offices were in this area were, like I said, owned by one corporation. I sat back and I shot at a customs office. I couldn't do any real damage to it, but I did that for about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. And then suddenly, for the next 2 days, when I would boot in, there would be somebody just hanging out in that system, seeing what's going on. So I don't know if they got an alert and they sent somebody, but what I have kind of looked into was digging deeper onto these corporations and who controls the underlying thing, because I don't think there's an upkeep cost for custom offices. So once you build a custom office, you're just basically making ISK off of it until somebody blows it up. And in an NPC nullsec or low sec, that can be a big thing. So one of the things I want to research is who owns all of these customs offices, who's making money off them. And this is in the low sec and NPC nullsec areas. Now, obviously, in player controlled areas, they'll have their own PI and their own customs offices. I remember whenever I lived in player controlled space 8 years ago, one of the first things we did was try to knock down all of the customs offices and put up our own. So I'm very interested to see, as I travel around, who owns most of the customs offices, because I haven't found a way externally to really figure that out yet. So I will try to. If you guys know a better way of doing that, all I've been doing is going into the system and just checking the customs offices. And I can tell you in Syndicate, and it's the only one I've checked so far, but this is going to be part of my traveling, is I all of these systems here through here, all of them had the same corporation. So that's very intriguing to me. And they were all a corporation that's been around for a long time. So are they part of an alliance? That corporation wasn't, but you don't have to be part of an alliance to be associated with a group. So that said, let's get on moving here. So I'm going to keep this one pretty short. My current goal for today, I'm going to probably play for another 15 minutes, but I'm not going to bore you with what I'm going to be doing for another 15. Um, uh, I'm only going to do 30 minutes a day. I'm going to try to record them. And then the rest of today, I'm just going to do the exploration missions for the career missions so I can get my free ship and my free parts to start doing some exploration. I'm going to be flying around for quite a while without any cloak or anything like that, so it should be a little bit entertaining, so you guys might be able to see me die. But yeah, again, I'm just going to put 30 minutes in a day, see what I can do, and try to record it. unless something else very interesting comes up. So that's all I got for today. Appreciate you guys checking in. Appreciate those guys who checked in on me. To my corp mates, looking forward to hanging out soon. And I'm hoping I'll have a little bit more energy. And I think I will. I think I'm going to be doing pretty well. So thanks so much, guys. Hey, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly out like you want. I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.